Getting started. Okay. Oh, let me admit another person. Everyone's jumping in here, and we'll probably be admitting people throughout, but we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brenda Helgut. I'm Executive Director of A Time to Heal Cancer Foundation here in Omaha, Nebraska. And the reason I announced that we're in Nebraska is because we do serve a lot of people all over the world, not just in the United States. We've had participants in our programming so far this year from 5 different countries. And we're not marketing for that. They just find us. They're looking for help and they find us, and we're so pleased that we can help them, because there's a lot of people out there that don't have this kind of programming in their area. So we're so pleased to offer virtual online programming for cancer survivors and their caregivers. If you want to learn more about us, you can go to ATTH, and that of course stands for A Time to Heal.org, ATTH.org. All of our virtual programming is completely free. And you will even, for our Survivorship 101 and Brain Fog classes, receive free books and other items, thanks to generous donors. We're 100% donor funded. So I would like to go ahead and make sure you mute your microphone. Make sure you mute your microphone, please. Thank you. Joining us here today, we have Shawn McCarville. And Shawn became the Director of Marketing and Programming at Project Pink. She was a volunteer for over 10 years and a member of their board of directors. And Shawn received her bachelor's degree in marketing and management from Northwest Missouri State University. At the age of 6, Shawn lost her mother to breast cancer. And it was while attending a Project Pink event as an adult that she realized how valuable visibility and recognition of survivorship truly is. Couldn't agree more, Shawn. Shawn's personal connection to breast cancer awareness and her passion for creating connections in the community fuel her drive to deliver on the Project Pink vision for each survivor in our community to thrive beyond their diagnosis, disease, and treatment. And we couldn't agree more. This is the reason we wanted Shawn here today. They are wonderful partners, wonderful advocates. They have amazing programs for breast cancer survivors, and we're just so pleased to welcome Shawn. Shawn, take it away, and I'm going to get going here with sharing the screen and your PowerPoint.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Brenda. I see some familiar faces out there, so hello. It's so good to see you. Happy Saturday. As Brenda mentioned, I get to be the Director of Programming and Marketing for Project Pink. I was asked to be in this position. I started working full-time for Project Pink in April of 2022. So it's been almost a year and a half, and I have the best job in the planet, I think. It's it's so much fun. And I get to work with breast cancer survivors every single day. So I wanted to start off by saying, and I know Brenda had already mentioned this, if anyone has any questions during this, please feel free to interrupt and ask your questions or type it in the chat box. So a little bit about Project Pink. If you are new to who we are, we're an organization that serves breast cancer survivors in Nebraska and Western Iowa. And we do have virtual programming as well, so that can be accessed by anyone that has internet access in the whole entire world. But the history of who Project Pink is our founder, Cynthia Sturgeon, was diagnosed in 2007. She was diagnosed here in Nebraska. She was born and raised in Louisiana, went to school in Texas, then moved to Nebraska with her husband, was diagnosed here. And she found I'm not going to read this word for word since it is really long, but I just wanted to hit on a couple of points. She realized that there were some gaps in survivorship. She felt as though she was pretty much alone after being diagnosed, not in the way of she had familial support and friends, but in the, um, oh, if you would go back two
Sorry, I'm
slides.
trying to go backwards. Sorry about that.
All
Thank you.
good. There you go. Um, she found that there weren't a lot of groups out there that offered survivorship, and that she could find someone that was just like her in being a breast cancer survivor, and just noting the experiences that she had, and finding someone that she could chat with, basically. So she started Project Pinked in 2010, and we became a 501c3 in 2012. Ever since then, we've grown year over year with our programming. After COVID, we had to pivot just like a Time to Heal did, and offer more virtual programming rather than in person. So since then, we've been able to keep our virtual programs going, and kind of hit more survivors in that way instead of just in-person events. If you would go to the next slide, please. So the mission of Project Pinked is from the moment of diagnosis to end of life. Project Pinked wants to provide the tools, resources, and a strong network to strengthen and renew the mind, body, and spirit of breast cancer survivors in Nebraska and Western Iowa. So we are unique in that there are other breast cancer organizations out there, but we don't focus on research or awareness. We focus on the survivor and strengthening them after diagnosis, and making sure that they know that there are resources available to them to end of life. And there are amazing organizations out there, especially in our community. And I know Brenda had mentioned we are Nebraska based, but we can serve survivors that are not in Nebraska due to our virtual programming. We try, um, when I was asked to, I guess when Brenda called me, what was it? Like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and we talked for had a great conversation on their programming and how we can team up, and we're super, super excited that we get to do this today. And I think it's been a long time coming, right, Brenda?
Absolutely. There are things that Project Pink does that are unique to them and vice versa. And we really want to promote and have that continuum of care for survivors. And I think together we can definitely do that.
Exactly. Um, a funny story I wanted to talk about before I get to my next slide. We had, well, I guess it's not funny, it's an amazing story. So we had a volunteer opportunity last week where we had survivors come in and write cards that go in our Healing Hearts kits. And this was a new volunteer, and she was a newly diagnosed survivor. And she just could not stop talking about how amazing her experience was with A Time to Heal in her 9-week program,
That's
which made me so, so, so happy that we were able to do this today. And I love hearing the feedback from survivors, and how they utilize the resources that are out there in our community. So I wanted to let you know that, Brenda, that we have survivors come in all the time, and we recommend them going through the support groups, because we don't offer something like that, because we don't want to duplicate services, especially when they're done as well as A Time to Heal does.
I appreciate
So
that, Shawn. And this is also why organization, because there are so many opportunities. Once you go through our Time to Heal survivorship classes, Project Pink can really pick up and introduce you to so many different ways to continue your connections with other survivors, to continue even your education, and also, which is I think Shawn's going to talk about today, I think so many survivors want to find purpose and want to help other survivors. me. Clearly, this is my passion. So I am just super eager to hear about all the wonderful different ways Project Pink can offer you not only, again, the education, the connection, but what kind of volunteer opportunities do you have to not only help each other and help the community?
Yes. So if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide, we'll get started talking about really the meat and potatoes of the conversation. So how I like to describe our programming is we've got three different branches under our umbrella. And those describe what each, and there's programming that goes underneath them. So we'll start with the Helping Hand program. That's what we were founded on. And that was our first ever program, which is a financial assistance program for newly diagnosed survivors. So the way that it works is whoever the survivor is getting their health care and treatment through is how they are able to apply for financial assistance through us. The only stipulation is that they have to be in active treatment and they live or receive treatment in Nebraska or Western Iowa. So we're able to help. Last year, we were able to help 425 survivors pay their rent, mortgage, utilities, car payment, whatever it may be. They just have to apply through their social worker or nurse navigator. Our next,
Shawn, can I ask a
oh,
question
yeah,
about the Helping Hand program?
yeah.
What do you know what your average grant, if that's what you call it, is your average grant amount to help these folks that are experiencing financial troubles?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking because I forgot to mention. So the survivor is allowed up to $1,000 per year of active treatment.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. And that's all thanks to generous donors, correct?
Exactly. Yep. We are just like you. We're donor funded, privately funded. So we wouldn't be able to do what we do without their help. So we're very, very blessed in that way.
Wonderful.
Our next branch, as I would call it, is Comfort and Care. This one is near and dear to my heart. And Brenda, if you wouldn't mind, I'm actually going to share my screen because this one has a link on it that goes to our website. And I figured it might be easier for me to navigate instead of asking you to go to
Yes,
each page and all of that stuff, if that's okay.
that's absolutely okay. And give me a second because Zoom is being very temperamental. And
Always, right?
yeah, and it's doing its little spinning thing. And I have some
Oh, I think you gave me access. So let's see. Yep. Okay. Did we lose? Um, Let me see. I apologize. I think we might have lost Brenda. We did. Well, that's not good. I hope she logs back on. Well, I will continue. So, can everyone see my screen? We just thumbs up if you can. Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is our website. It is projectpink.org. And what I wanted to talk about, so we were on our comfort and care portion. So this is with our Healing Hearts kits, which I don't know if anyone is familiar with these. If you are a survivor in Nebraska or Western Iowa and you receive treatment, you should have, oh, there's Brenda. Let's see. Did she come on? Oh, there she is. Hi, Brenda. Are you there? Okay. So our Healing Hearts kits are kits that go with each modality of treatment. whether the survivor goes through chemotherapy, surgery, or radiation, a combination of those, or all of them, or one. The survivor is able to receive one of these kits. And I wanted to play a quick video that explains it. So let's hope that it plays.
Shawn, can you hear the audio?
Yeah. Oh, can you guys not hear it?
I can't hear it.
Okay. Well, shoot, I didn't know how videos worked on Zoom. So, well, never mind. We won't play any videos that I have. I apologize. So I'll just explain them. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I didn't know if you guys could hear because I could hear. So, right up here is our chemotherapy kit. So the survivor gets the bag, special shampoo, lotion, queasy drops, dry mouth spray, a water bottle. And new this year, we found one of our board members suggested a port access shirt. So I did some research and found a vendor out of Washington, D.C. Area. And they provide port access tops where we're able to provide a card to the survivor. They have to contact us to place their order. And they just send us their size and their color they want, and we're able to directly ship it to their door just to make it chemo a little bit easier so that that nurse can access the port easier instead of them having to stick their arm through the top of their shirt or take their shirt up. So that's a super, super cool thing that we were able to add this year. And again, these, all the programming that we have is completely free to breast cancer survivors, which due to our generous donors. Next one, surgical kit. So we're able to put a pillow that's also a blanket, so it tucks up in there, a robe, a journal, and one of the most popular parts of the surgical kit is the drainage belt. As you know, when you have a mastectomy or double mastectomy, you have drains that are huge pain. So we just like to add this one in there. And then our next one, let's see, is our radiation kit. It comes in a lunch tote, has a skin cooling pad, emu oil, a travel tumbler, things of that nature. So those are our Healing Hearts kits that any survivor is able to get. We partner with all of our local healthcare agencies, and we hope that a survivor gets it from their provider. But if they do not, then anyone is able to contact us and we can ship one directly to the survivor's door. So that's our comfort in. Oh, sorry, what?
So I said that is absolutely amazing. How many of those do you distribute annually?
2,000.
Wow, that's Shawn, this is why I'm so excited to have you here today, because I just don't think enough people know about these wonderful things that you do. And as a breast cancer survivor myself, it, especially got my attention with the port access shirt. That what a wonderful gift. And so if anyone wants to reach out, do you have a specific form on your website, or do you just call, or how do you do that?
So the easiest way would be to send us an email or give us a phone call. So on our website there should be get connected. Let's see. There's an info email. Now you're quizzing me here. Oh, here we go.
That's
Email
okay.
us.
Take your time.
There we go.
Plenty of time.
And our email is info@projectpink.org, and you get a response within probably a couple hours. And yeah, you can order them through us, and we'll send. All we need is the survivor's name, address, and we would like to know their healthcare agency. It's not we don't have to. It's just good for our stats. But yeah, we can get a kit sent out the next day.
So if I send out a kit, Shawn, can I ask you to send it to a friend of mine? And will you notify my friend that I initiated this? You know, it's kind of, I wonder if it's like a donation, you know, where you make it in honor or memory of somebody. Is that possible to do that?
Yeah, we can do that. It's just if you ask to have them know that it was requested by you, we would just put a card in there. Um, pardon me, since
Great.
we are the ones sending it out, we can personalize it if you so choose, definitely.
That's wonderful. And I think this is especially great to think about this season, you know, that if you know somebody that's going through breast cancer treatment or has finished treatment, what a wonderful way to let them know you're thinking about them. I would have loved to have received something like this when I was going through my treatment, etc. So thank you for this. This is just a wonderful program.
Well, thank you, Brenda. That makes me feel good. The cool thing about this program is that we love the feedback from survivors that receive the kits because and as you all know, healthcare, all of the technologies are constantly changing. So for us to be able to add an item or subtract an item is very simple, and we love to hear the feedback. So when our board member came to us, and because she actually had provided, she's a survivor herself, she had provided one of these shirts to her coworker that was going through treatment, and she wanted us to look into it. Um, and they are a little bit pricey. So for us to be able to provide that to a survivor that might not be able to afford it or might not even know it's a thing, that's the whole goal of it, is we want to make sure that uh they are cared for during treatment and don't have to worry about those small things that could help them. They just get to be, and heal. So
Shawn, one other thing you should include in that care kit, if you don't already, you're so smart, you probably have already done this, but you ought to put in a little thank you card so that self-addressed back to Project Pink, so that whoever's the recipient can just right away write a quick thank you and pop it in the mail very easily.
that
And
is a good idea.
the reason I say that, folks, is because again, the more we can relay these back to our donors, the more they want to give and support. So it's really important. It's just a kind thing to do, but yeah, it just will help make it a little easier. And as a gentle reminder, if they want to send a thank you, that would be nice.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I will definitely talk with our staff. That's a great idea because we receive thank you notes in the mail all the time for these kits. And that would just make it easier.
Yes, exactly.
So our next branch of programming is our renewal, which encompasses a large list of programs. So this will, I could talk all day about this, by the way. But I won't keep you that long. So over on the left-hand side right here where my mouse is a list of our active programs in our renewal branch currently. So I'll start at the top and we'll run down. So as mentioned, virtual programming is huge, right? Hence we're on this virtual program right now. Especially since COVID, everyone realized that you can do things online and people will receive it well and it lasts as we're being recorded, right? So people can utilize this programming forever, which is amazing. So a Cup of Conversation is a program that we launched quite a while ago, and the purpose of it is just to have newly diagnosed survivors ask questions about their diagnosis, their treatment, and really just voice um, their feelings. It's no uh, 9-week program like The Time to Heal. This really just is graces the top, right? But we want to make sure that these survivors know that we are a resource, and that we are available to them, and they're going to make it, right? So this one happens every other month, and our only requirement is you have to be newly diagnosed within the last year.
Okay.
And
Is it, so do you get to talk, who do you get to talk with? Who's the conversation with, Shawn?
so we have a panel of 4 or 5 survivors, that range from young survivors to women that were diagnosed 20 years ago. So it ranges from survivors that are 3 years out to 20 years out, so that these newly diagnosed survivors know that they are going to be okay and they are going to make it to that 20-year mark, right? Um, and they can ask questions if they so choose. They can just listen. It's just the whole point is to let them know that they are not alone in this uh, this new battle, right?
I think that's so important, Shawn, because I know when I was diagnosed, I was really frightened, and especially because I had triple negative breast cancer. And that's a little bit of a tougher journey, I think, sometimes. And I'm now 7 years out. And I remember, just hearing from people that told me, I'm triple negative as well. And I'm 7, 10, 20 years out. And I just thought, okay,
Exactly.
yeah. So
Well,
that's
congrats,
great.
Brenda.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, that's the whole point is you need to be able to see someone that is in the same situation as you and they're thriving so that you
Yeah,
have that hope, right?
exactly.
Our next in our list over to the side, this program was launched during COVID, and we developed it partially because of COVID. We made it an online conversation where we, and as you may know, some people may not, our founder was diagnosed with metastatic disease, and she battled it for, I, this is what she used to say, that they gave her an expiration date. Um, and she lived far past her, what she would call her expiration date. She battled a metastatic disease, I believe, for 5 or 7 years. Um, she lost her battle last year, but this program was developed by her because people don't talk about these things that need to be talked about. That's why we called it Bold and Brave. So the conversations hit um, really close to home for her, and she, sorry, this is hard for me to talk about. She dove into the hard conversations, and it was um to help other people get through exactly what she was going through. But she was on the front lines, and we started it off with the diagnosis of metastatic disease, um, and then we talked about planning for disease progression, quality of life, um, caregiver management, palliative care, um, funeral home. All of these different conversations happened. It was I believe we have 9 videos. They were all on um, Zoom. We do have them all professionally on our YouTube channel, which I will be showing you here shortly. But it was in person, and we would talk to professionals. Another really good one was the financial planning for end of life. So these conversations that people don't want to have, but you need to have, right? Um,
Yeah. Shawn, can I interrupt for a moment? We have recommended and guided people to those videos. We have a advanced chronic support group that meets monthly, virtually, and also in person here in Omaha for anyone with advanced metastatic. And when we talk about chronic, we talk about those people that are kind of battling it long term, or who are still thriving, but they have unique needs, as you mentioned, and these are tough conversations to have. your family can love you as much as they possibly can, but I know, it's very difficult to have those conversations with your family. So when you are with others who are experiencing the same things, it's a lot easier to have these important and tough conversations. And Shawn, thank you for having these videos up and available for any time someone says, okay, I need to see this. I need to hear this.
Yes, of course. And like you had mentioned, it's for whenever someone wants to watch and educate themselves. I am going to not show you this one, but I wanted to show you guys um our YouTube channel where these conversations are. So let's go over to right here.
And Shawn, we will send a link out to all our participants to your YouTube channel and to your website after, and we'll do that on Monday so that
Okay,
everyone has a direct link to all of these important resources.
awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So all of the Bold and Brave conversations have the Bold and Brave title right here. And it talks about we were able to invite local professionals to help us with these conversations so that we're getting the most accurate information, so that we can help uh, survivors, and honestly anyone that wants to know this information. So all of that is on our YouTube channel, completely free um, to view
Hey,
whenever someone would
Shawn,
like. Yes.
I apologize, folks. I'm on my phone because my on the computer it's frozen up, but I didn't dare want to accidentally stop the meeting, right? So in case you're a little confused, this is what's going on. So I'm not keeping up with the chat as well as I should be. I apologize. But a question came in and said, a cup of conversation should be open to those who are 1 to 5 years newly diagnosed. I am 3 years in and I still need support. And
Okay.
I'm guessing, Shawn, that that's okay, right? I mean, if you feel like you need it, is that okay to just drop in?
Definitely. And so those that's the beauty of what we do is we will always accept someone if they are needing just a little bit of extra help. It's just that's how we market it. But we are 100% more than happy to let someone else in. That's definitely.
Yeah, and
That's I
we
think
and
that's a
just as
case by case.
exactly. And then just as a reminder, our programs as well, Survivorship 101 and Brain Fog, you can take them at any time. They're beneficial, gosh, 1 day out, 1 month out, 10 years out. And sometimes people like to even take it as a refresher. I feel like brain fog should be taken annually by anybody over 50. So, but I just wanted to throw that in as well. So we both have guidelines, but I think, Project Pink is very similar to us in that we take everyone on a individual basis and we try to meet their needs wherever they're at. But we have created these guidelines, but they're just that. They're guidelines. They're not hard and fast rules necessarily. Our only hard and fast rule is we don't work with children, and our friends at Angel Among Us work with kids, and that's another wonderful partner we have here in Omaha, and we highly recommend them. So that's really kind of our only hard and fast rule. Doesn't matter where you're treated, doesn't matter what for us, it's any kind of cancer. But as we know, breast cancer, correct me if I'm wrong, Shawn, about 70% of all cancer cases, I believe, are breast cancer.
Um, and another one of our programs that provides a tremendous amount of support is our Survivors Unite Facebook group. So if you are a member of Facebook, we do have a private Facebook page that is breast cancer survivors only. So it's a platform where you can voice your troubles without the rest of the world seeing, right? You can ask for advice. You can ask for if you guys want to if you need someone to talk to, you can ask to meet for coffee or a phone call. But we just hit over 1,000 members this year on that private Facebook group. It's very active, and it's just another outlet of support that is always there as well.
Shawn, is that moderated by your staff or?
Yes,
Okay.
our staff and one of our board members, she helps moderate it as well. She's a survivor.
Wonderful.
So yes. Okay, so I'm gonna skip over Care to Share Thanksgiving because I'm gonna talk about that at the end. So Chef's Table is another program that we have. We actually just had our last one on this last Wednesday. We partner with Metro Community College. And it's such a fun event. We are able to bring in an oncology nutritionist from Methodist. Her name is Gina. And she talks about nutrition and debunks the myths that may be floating about, like how a lot of survivors think that they can't eat soy. That is a myth if you didn't know. So you can have soy. And she just talks about like a way to get your protein in, like if you are in active treatment and you're not hungry but you need to get your nutrients, right? Different alternatives to how you can get your protein without having to, pardon me, eat a lot, right? Because you don't feel good. And a chef at Metro Community College is able to demonstrate cooking a meal. You get to eat the meal, and then you get to take that meal home with you and cook it for your family if you so choose. So we provide all of those ingredients for you to take home. And as mentioned, we do this in Omaha, and next year we're able to do it in Omaha and Lincoln. So we're excited about that as well.
Where are you going to be doing that in Lincoln?
I am not 100% sure yet. We pre-COVID, we were able to do it at the oh, now it's gonna escape me. There was a community,
Southeast Community College?
we did it there one time, but there's a nonprofit hub that we hosted it at before, and now I'm
Wonderful.
forgetting.
And so,
So
this class, by the way, this is one of my most favorite things that Project Pink offers. I wish we could do something similar, but again, why would we? Because you're already doing it so well. Is this held? How often is it held? And is it held at Metro's a culinary arts school? Is that where you have it?
yes. So
Wonderful.
this year we were finally able to bring it back since COVID. We were only able to have it twice this year. Next year we plan on having it 3 times. And it's at the Metro Community College Culinary Institute, which is on the Fort campus. And then we're going to be able to offer it one time in Lincoln next year. So we don't have the dates yet. We're working with them right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to be March for Omaha, May for Lincoln, June, Omaha, and October. So I don't have those set in stone yet, but we are working to get the calendar ready for 2024.
Great.
And yes, it is a very fun event. Brenda, you should attend the
I
next one. We would love
I
that.
am going, yes, please put me down because I will be there. If you've never been to the Culinary Arts School, they actually have a restaurant.
Hmm.
And so these are chefs in training. The food is incredible, and you can get
It's amazing.
like a 5-star meal for very little money because again they're all in training and things like that. But this chef's table, I know I've been in their room where they have the kitchen. I assume that's where you
Hmm.
do it. It's
Yes.
just a wonderful place. There's great parking. I encourage you to go. I am dying to go. I can't wait. And we just need to get you a sponsor so you can have them every month.
Yes, definitely. I would love that. Okay, so our next program that I'm going to touch on, and I'll run through these last ones pretty quick since we are getting close on time. So our Dare to Thrive retreat is our 8 month long program where we invite 20 breast cancer survivors to dive deeper into themselves and really get past and get through their diagnosis and know that they aren't just a, a, a cancer patient, right? And it really hones in. We work with an amazing facilitator. Her name is Laura Rocafort. She is absolutely phenomenal. She helped build this program. We're coming up on 10 years of doing Dare to Thrive, which is amazing. So it's an 8 month long program, like I had mentioned. We do one big retreat weekend in April where we have the survivors show up on a Friday afternoon, and we dive so deep into all things survivorship and themselves, and just uh, making making sure that they know who they are, and celebrating themselves really. And then they leave on Sunday evening, and then the graduation of this program is at our annual gala, where we're able to showcase them individually and show where they started versus where they are now. We do a small photo shoot. That's always been kind of for some people an incentive of applying. So registration is currently open and it closes on November 30th. The
So,
only stipulation we have on that one is you have to be 1 year post-treatment.
and you have to be someone that lives locally?
Nope. So this last class was, we had a woman from Grand Island. We had a woman from Harlan, Iowa. Um, previously or previously we had someone from Kearney. So it really just depends on if the person is willing to travel, because we do host the we do a meeting once a month in person. So that's the only stipulation, is if they are willing to drive to Omaha for that once a month meeting and then that retreat
Mm.
that weekend.
So they have to be able to travel to Omaha. So tell me, how do you select these lucky 20?
So it's a blind application process. So they fill out the application, then we do have one person that doesn't uh, do the selection. She gets all the applications ready, make sure that we take the name and all of the personal information off of it. And then it goes to a committee of survivors and me. And we just go through the questions and see who, and we rank the applications that way.
Awesome.
Because this program costs a lot of money from our donors. So we try to make sure that the survivor actually wants to go through it, because you ask any of the women that have gone through the Dare to Thrive program before, it dives deep, and you have to want to make the I wouldn't necessarily say the change, but you have to make the hard decision of diving really deep and getting very personal with yourself, and wanting to, I guess, do all of those things. Because
It
if you're not
sounds like
ready,
a
then it's not beneficial.
Exactly. It sounds like a big commitment. It's a long program and it's also an emotional commitment. And
Extremely.
but think of, for any of you that are sitting there listening to this and wondering if you should apply, think of the benefit of you sharing your story and sharing your innermost thoughts and feelings. And that's something, obviously, we teach a lot in our program, but I can see where this kind of program, again, with the 8 months, I could see this being extremely beneficial. And like you said, Shawn, that's why you have to limit it to only 20. It would get expensive, but I think I can think of some folks that have been through our program that would probably really benefit from this kind of, I want to say, head to toe program. And I love that you are deep diving into emotions, to the psychosocial aspect of it, but also making women feel better about who they are and who they're becoming. And, with the whole makeover and things like that, I think it's so wonderful and so empowering. The whole thing sounds just amazing. I know I've had lots of discussions with Dave about it, your executive
Yes.
director.
Yes, it is a wonderful program. But yeah, you have to want to break that shell.
Yeah.
Then the next lymphedema, we offer a few lymphedema workshops a year. We don't have them uh planned out for next year, but we have a wonderful she's a board member actually. She works with lymphedema patients every single day. So she is graciously donates her time to do these workshops. Her name is Lori Buckley. Actually, I think Lori's on this call. She
Yes,
is.
and you know what? She was wanting to get in, and because I'm frozen, I couldn't get her in. I hope she got in somehow.
Yes, she did. So I
But
I think I let her in. Yes.
oh, good, thank
Um,
goodness, because I can't do it. It still shows it on my screen. Thank you.
yes. Um, so our last one was in July. We are currently planning for next year, so we'll be able to do lymphedema workshops next year as well. And anyone that's a breast cancer survivor can attend a lymphedema workshop.
It's a very popular topic. We usually have it at least once a year, every year, through Create Your Best Life as well. You can't
Okay.
talk about it enough, really.
Yeah, and I mean there's always useful information to help someone that is experiencing that extreme pain, right?
Hmm.
Our next program that I'm going to talk about is Straight Talk, which this is a program that Lori helps me with as well. And it's where we invite local professionals in to talk about any any subject that's going to be beneficial to a survivor. So I wanted to go back to our YouTube channel real quick. Um, and let's see if I click on oopsies. Over there, it's going to go to the editor, and I don't want you guys to, that's gets in real deep of YouTube. So anyways, the ones that have the gray on them are our straight talks. This last one that we were able to do was super, super fun to learn about. It's hyperbaric oxygen therapy. We do have a chamber is what they call it at Nebraska Medicine. And what it is a chamber that helps your cells heal faster. So after treatment, we talked about that we were able to have a doctor from Nebraska Medicine, and have had a nurse from Mayo Clinic on that one. But really, the whole point of Straight Talk is to dive deep with a professional in whichever discussion we're having to get more information to survivors about without them having to spend the money on getting a consultation or just getting that initial conversation started. So a couple examples are we had one on fertility and reproductive health, surveillance after diagnosis. That was with Dr. Harwell. She is a breast surgeon. Nipple and areola tattooing after surgery. We've got sleep deprivation, chiropractic care, because a lot of people are weary on if they are allowed to get chiropractic care after being diagnosed. Prosthesis, side effects is a huge one. So these are always available on our YouTube channel to be viewed at any time. And they're an amazing, awesome resource.
So are these just pre-recorded, or do you have them live? And if so, how often?
So this year we were able to have three of them, and they are live. We do it on Facebook Live. So people can ask questions live during. Thank you for asking that, Brenda. So you're able to ask these providers your actual questions and they're able to answer them right then and there. And then after, if you weren't able to watch it live, we have it recorded on our YouTube channel, and you can contact that provider, or you can contact us and have us reach out to the provider asking your question as well. And those are listed on our website as well. And if you click on here, then it brings you to that direct video. A new program that we launched this year is Survivors Ignite, which is an in-person program where we're able to get out and go into the community and just surround yourself with other survivors that maybe you didn't have a chance to meet before, or you wouldn't have met before. And they're all survivors, and you guys just get to go out and have fun, maybe be creative, maybe be fun. With your singing voice, we have music bingo. We're doing a few family events. We've got a Santa event coming up on December 2nd that we are working on right now. So this program really, it's just promoting getting those meaningful connections and doing an activity. And then I talked about the Survivors Unite Facebook page. All that to be a member on that page, all you have to do is request and provide your zip code, your year of diagnosis in your healthcare agency, and you'll be accepted. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is our Care to Share Thanksgiving. That's coming up in 2 weeks. We're able to do an in-person in Omaha and in Lincoln this year, where we're gathering on an afternoon from 1 to 3. It's on November 12th. Where all you have to do is register online, where we're going to gather, we're going to have some snacks, and really just like our Survivors Ignite event, where I talked about the survivorship aspect, and getting survivors together in a room, and just making those connections and meeting new people. And then the following weekend, we're able to deliver Thanksgiving meals directly to survivors' doorsteps all across the state. So if you are a breast cancer survivor living in Nebraska or Western Iowa, or you know of a survivor that could benefit from having a Thanksgiving meal delivered to them, it's absolutely at no cost. And we get to deliver those on November 19th.
So how do we reach out? Do we just still use the info at email to let you know about someone that would benefit from having a meal?
Yes, or they can register on our website, or if you have their information, you can register them, or you can send me an email, no problem, and I can register them. That's all it takes. Is we just need to know their address and their name and their year of diagnosis, and we can get them a meal. It serves 4, so it's 4 servings. This is a long-standing tradition with Project Pink. Cynthia and her husband, Dave, Brenda had mentioned Dave. He's our board president. He is an amazing man. This was their favorite program.
I just think it's wonderful, and that's why we wanted to have you on during Breast Cancer Awareness Month and coming up so close to when this will be happening. And I encourage everyone, I think this is something that if you really want to kind of take a baby step towards getting involved and helping and being able to feel so good about it, I think this is something anyone could get involved in. Project Pink certainly is aware and helpful. If you're still feeling a little bit weak or whatever, they could, they'll bring you a chair or whatever. But I encourage you to sign up and go. I'm guessing, Shawn, you can correct me if I'm wrong also, if you're going to sign somebody up to receive a meal, make sure they're going to be okay with that.
Yes,
Make sure they're
yes.
going to be around and all that kind of thing. And I assume you have a whole process that you go through to make sure that deliveries are not done in vain.
Yes, yes, definitely. Another thing that you had touched on that I didn't yet was the volunteering. So we try to offer few volunteer events throughout the year. We do obviously for our Care to Share, we have a lot of opportunities out there for someone to get involved. And obviously you don't need to be a survivor to um, volunteer for us. We love to meet new people, and it is a great way to get involved. So there's a link. You just hit join the movement and participate, and then volunteer is under there. And there's plenty to register for.
Oh,
And
this is amazing, Shawn.
thank
I'm
you.
sorry, did I cut you off? Is there
Oh,
anything
I
else
was
you
just
wanted
gonna
to add?
the last thing I was gonna say that you had touched on already, and I just wanted to emphasize it is um a breast cancer survivor can be as involved with us as they so choose. So you can be a fly on the wall, or you can be hands-on and super involved with us. As long as a survivor knows that we are a resource out there that can help, that's the main goal that we want to get across.
Absolutely. Shawn, this has been such a pleasure to have you today. And folks, I am sorry about the program freezing up. Zoom has been very temperamental lately, and again, a thousand apologies for that. But I want you folks to ask Shawn some questions now. If you have some, don't be shy and go ahead and you're going to have to just raise your hand or come off mute so she can go ahead and answer your questions. Is everyone going to be just too shy to ask? Or you've just done such an amazing job. I don't think they have any questions at this point. I'm just looking to see if anybody has anything in the chat. It doesn't look like it. One question I had, Shawn, is about your Thanksgiving meals. What's the most remote location you've delivered Thanksgiving meals to that you can recall off the top of your head? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, that's all right. Yeah. So we've actually, I have, I just pulled a report the other day, and we've got some, ones pretty far out in Western Nebraska. One of them last year and this is where we don't hand deliver it. We're able to, um, I'm pulling it up right now. We're gonna see. We find a grocery store that's near them, and we are able to pay for it, and then they can pick it up from there. But this year we're going out to Minden. We've got
Wow.
Malcolm, Nebraska. Let's see. Um, Roca, Nebraska. So small towns, Murray, Hazard, um,
Murray and Hazard
because
are a ways out.
in where is Holdridge? I know we had last year. We try and make sure that it's my job to communicate with those healthcare agencies that are west, to make sure that they communicate with their patients, whether even if the survivor is 20 years out. We would like to deliver a meal to them, so that they don't have to
Wonderful.
worry about cooking it. So um,
Oh,
if they know about us, then hopefully they register, because that's the goal, is to provide those Thanksgiving meals to any breast cancer survivor in Nebraska or
that's
Western Iowa, no matter how long ago they were diagnosed, right?
it's so wonderful. You know, we often hear the phrase pay it forward. And I know there was a lot of people supporting me and helping me during my cancer journey. And I know when we get folks coming through our programs, I feel like at the end they feel so uplifted, so empowered that a lot of them that's what they want to do. And I think Project Pink is a great place to go forward with those feelings and those thoughts and really continue to do some good and continue to support other cancer survivors. So, Shawn, thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday morning and being here today. Again, if anyone has any questions, let me know.
I think
We will be,
sister
we,
does.
oh, okay. Go ahead. Hilda?
I just wants to make a comment, and I'm just what amazed how much, the information, I just got today. And because we had, and I live in Norfolk, Nebraska, and we really don't have too many things available. And maybe there is, but I'm not aware of it. And but like I was wondering when I was going through, I was pretty scared and I didn't even know what to do. And it'd be nice to have somebody to talk to or get some information and all the things. And so some of these things you have providing is wonderful. But if if I have known it before, I had this went through this, and I might have benefited a lot. And so I'm just wondering whether or not how do you get people educated is the I don't know, my educator, or just let them know that all these wonderful things are available if when they need it. So how do you do it? And I'm just, I was thinking, wow, I wish I have known, you know, and because I
Yeah,
was, I,
we get that question a lot. How do we get our message out? Because as you
mm,
mentioned,
mm,
a lot of survivors do say that. Like, I wish I would have known about you when I was diagnosed, which
yeah,
makes me very sad.
mm,
So I'm glad that you know about us now, right?
yeah, yeah,
The way that we are able to get who we are to survivors is we rely very heavily on our healthcare agencies, and educating the nurse navigators and the providers, about our programming so that they can, get to the survivor at the moment of diagnosis, right? And as you probably know, in sitting in that room getting that diagnosis, you just black out, right? You don't remember anything. You
yeah,
have so much information thrown at you. So we try and make multiple touches during treatment and after treatment so that a survivor knows that we are around.
mm,
Um, so that's really the answer. We try and reach survivors through healthcare agencies, through multiple different um, ways of getting to a survivor, whether it be a Healing Hearts kit that's received, or a postcard, um, telling the healthcare agency about the programming that we have coming up, so that they can recommend it to their patients. So I am constantly talking to our nurse navigators and social workers that are in Nebraska and Western Iowa, trying to make sure that they are passing along what we do to survivors, because that's ultimately the going to be the most effective way for us to reach those survivors.
mm,
I would also add, Shawn, and I think you'll agree with me, that word of mouth is one of the most important ways. And Sister Hilda, you are always. Can I just say, I always love seeing your face at our meetings. It makes me so happy because you are such a wonderful advocate and champion. And I know that you're going to go forward and tell a lot of people what you have heard today. I know you. I know you will do that. And that's one of the reasons why it's important for us as organizations to support each other and realize that Project Pink is different from A Time to Heal. But again, it's a continuum of services. They do so many things that we're not able to do. We have our lane that we focus on with our research and evidence-based programs that are over a series of weeks, et cetera, et cetera. But we don't have a lot of the things that they have. And that's why I wanted to educate our folks and promote it on YouTube and say, get the word out, please. It's amazing to me how many people, and Shawn, we do survey our folks. We ask them who referred them, and it actually social media and word of mouth has now surpassed providers in
Really,
terms of,
I would believe
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Word of mouth is
So
huge, especially when a survivor, um, one of their friends or family or acquaintances gets diagnosed and they
yeah,
pass along Project Pink and how we have been able to help them. That's I would definitely agree with you.
absolutely. Well, does anybody else have any questions for Shawn?
I just
Before-
have a question about whether or not you can go out and educate other people. Like if I have a group of people, would you come out and talk about it?
Yeah, definitely. I love doing that. As you can tell, I can talk about Project Paint for a long time, so
Yeah.
all day. So yeah, I would love you just can contact me. I'm sure Brenda can send out my contact information in an email. And yeah, I would love to do that.
Oh, okay. Because before, when like during months of October, it's I understand that it's what breast cancer awareness month. I was
Uh-huh.
trying to do something, but I was trying to invite the my own surgery oncologist, surgical oncologist, and who is really busy, so. And she was saying, yeah, well, we can do something, but maybe next month, kind of thing. So I just, if I have known that about you, I would have, invited you for during month of October. So, but anyway, I just want to know whether you
Yeah,
can.
anytime.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, I think we're going to go ahead and get things wrapped up here. One thing else I want to leave with all of you is one more thing that we would like to remind you of here at A Time to Heal. We already have our date for our annual conference. If you haven't been, we started that back up after COVID in 2022. And then again, this last spring and May in 2023, we had 341 attendees. It's an educational conference for cancer survivors and their caregivers, and also for medical professionals. We offer CE hours. And I believe at our last conference, we had, I think, either 5 or 6 CE hours that we were able to offer for social workers, nurses, physicians, and occupational therapists. So we will be having our next conference on May 7th, and that will be at the Embassy Suites La Vista, just outside of Omaha. It's on Interstate 80, right off of Interstate 80, very easy to find. The cost will be only $25 for survivors or caregivers. It's higher for medical professionals, but $25 gives you access to, you will have a morning keynote session. You will have 3 breakouts to choose from twice in the morning. Then we'll all gather for a wonderful meal and a luncheon. It's our fundraising luncheon. We'll have our main keynotes there, and then we'll have 2 more of the breakout sessions. Again, we're with 3 choices in each, and then the day is concluded. So it's a lovely full day of education and camaraderie and a great meal for only $25. Again, thanks to generous donors, especially the Dr. Cece and Mabel L. Chris Memorial Foundation. They help underwrite the expenses of the conference. And then we always have presenting sponsors and many other sponsors as well. So we encourage you to come to that. And who knows, I bet you might see some folks from Project Pink at that conference. We were lucky enough to have some of them this last spring, and I'm trying to talk them into maybe presenting. But gosh, I'm going to have to twist some arms. Dave wasn't sure if your folks, you guys are so busy, and but we hope we can get you in there. So we're still planning all of the education. If you have ideas for topics that you would like to hear about at our conference, please go ahead and reach out to us and email us at info@atth.org. We want to hear what you would like to attend as far as topics. In the past, we've had topics ranging from nutrition to anxiety. We're always going to have probably anxiety because that's something so many of us deal with. And we had an amazing speaker on anxiety, Dr. Adam Mills from Nebraska Medicine, just this last time. He's also a board member, and he was incredible and gave us all a lot of help. So, Shawn, any closing thoughts?
Thank you for having me. This was very fun. It's so good to see some familiar faces. And yes, we will definitely be at the conference. We were able to attend last year and it was phenomenal. The education that
Thank
not
you.
only our survivors were able to take in, but myself. It's everything's always changing and evolving, and we like to be educated on that. So we appreciate what you guys do, Brenda. Thanks
Thank you.
for letting us talk about Project Paint.
Oh, absolutely. And also I want to remind you, Shawn, that we are happy and delighted and honored to offer you and our other partner organizations a free exhibitor booth. That's how we want you to showcase what you have. So folks, you can learn more about them there as well. You visit them at their booth. So, all right, everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Shawn, thank you again so very much.
Yes. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day and go Big Red.
Exactly.